The horror genre. Wait, wait. Is this the first horror movie I've actually ever reviewed on my channel? Dude, that's actually crazy. Well, getting into it, I guess. I believe that the horror genre is one of the most subjective genres of entertainment when it comes to the mass appeal of general audiences, coming second only to comedy, in my opinion. It's not an easy feat in order to make a successful horror movie, let alone an entire franchise. But with the recent plague running around Hollywood, zapping people of their creativity and lack of originality, forcing them to respawn requels and rehashes from the dead, the horror genre has steadily but surely stayed at the same pace and a healthy medium of requels and originality. And I'm not gonna lie, they've taken all of the right steps in the right direction of gauging that said larger audience that I mentioned before. From the more recent rebooted requel types like the new Halloween trilogy to It Chapter 1 and 2, to the new additions to the Scream franchise with the fifth and sixth installments, to reimagine takes of original ideas that are able to grasp a more modern audience that it's after with A Quiet Place and the newly released Megan this year. Not to mention the quick rise of Studio A24 and their introduction of more psychological and quote unquote slow burn horror to the general audiences with major successes like Hereditary starring Toni Collette, Midsummer with Florence Pugh, and The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy. It's easy to say that the horror genre as a whole has never been in a more successful and widespread net than it is right now, and that's a good thing. Which brings us to 2023's Evil Dead Rise, an insanely fucked up movie starring two estranged sisters and their kids as their family reunion is cut short after a mysterious earthquake semi destroys their apartment complex. In the rubble, eldest son Danny and sister Bridget find a book known as the Book of the Dead, unleashing a relentless and vengeful demon of flesh amongst their own mom and sister Ellie, leaving Auntie Beth and Ellie's three kids to not only fend off a demon, but a demon possessing their own mother and their own sister.
Fuck.
Let's first go ahead and say it. This movie was pretty great. I don't want to say fantastic, but I did watch this on the same day as watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3, pretty much immediately after, and let me tell you, what a surreal experience. I would say when it comes to the horror genre, it's a place where a wide variety of actors and actresses are able to spread their wings into ranges that I feel as if the general audience wouldn't even think of. Like Toni Collette in Hereditary, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise in the It films, or Mia Goth in X and Pearl. Let me tell you, there's no exception here. Alicia Sutherland is fantastic in the role as a older, sympathetic character who genuinely cares about her sister, while at the same time not having that same compassion or attention reciprocated and having to deal with her personal problems more behind a closed door. The unconditional love shown for her children in the first act when you were just now getting to know who the kids actually are and their personalities, their dynamics towards each other, it's a close knit and genuinely happy family regardless of their situation. Which makes the transformation of Ellie into the Evil Dead demon and the outcome of the night that much more tragic and personal. Unlike the previous Evil Dead film, specifically the most recent 2013 iteration, it's not to say how close people's bonds are to any specific individual, but you're mostly dealing with friends, girlfriends and boyfriends, and friends of other friends, people in general that, no matter how close you actually are, you probably aren't as closely connected to them as you say your 13-year-old sister or your mom. But Alicia Sutherland plays both the motherly role and the flesh demon role to damn near perfection. She's tense and makes every shot with her body horror almost mesmerizing at times. The way that she's able to convey the body horror from one scene to tugging on the emotional heartstrings in another to being a complete raging monster who screams slurs and profanities and sentences that don't even make sense are a testament to how involved and how much she cared and had fun with the role. And while it would be pretty easy to just continue to gush over Ellie's performance, that's not to say that everybody else's performance wasn't also up to par. The emotional toil that it would take to grasp the realization that your sister has been possessed by a demon leaving you basically in the custody of her 3 kids as she hunts you down throughout the night, would be nothing less than an out of body experience. But Auntie Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, and the 3 kids adapt pretty quickly. And while obviously some contrivances and some simply dumb moments had to happen in order to get the plot moving, I would say that that aspect of the cliche horror film was kept to a minimum in Acts 2 and 3, making you more invested into the family aspect of the film that it was trying to make you feel, and make it that much more tragic and gruesome watching the events unfold throughout the horrific night. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if I mentioned blood throughout the entirety of this video, but if I didn't, well, this movie is bloody, very bloody, and gory. But don't get me wrong, while there's some pretty intense gore in here from time to time, there's not nearly as much as the rebooted Evil Dead in 2013. As mentioned before with the family aspect, Evil Dead Rise decides to go with a more close knit and personal approach with such a small cast of disposable characters, which in turn would, of course, lead to less gore and blood throughout the movie. But what led me to even bringing up this point is truly the extremely well done practical effects. With the world that we live in now, with superhero cinematic universes and rebooted action hero blockbusters dominating our big screens, we use the practical effects and the craft necessary in order to shoot a film on location has been slimming at a dramatic pace. And while there are some movies out there where the oversaturated use of green screens and CGI are absolutely necessary in order to tell the story in the world that your story takes place in, it truly feels as if the horror genre is one of, if not the last major top 5 genre that still heavily relies on that surreal feeling that the practical effect can give the audience. And that feeling is hit to the max when it comes to Evil Dead Rise. It's honestly pretty incredible to watch when you see some of the kill scenes, but I won't get into spoilers. When you really think about it, there's really only 2 types of people in this world: people that pay attention when they're at the cinema, and well, you know. But when it comes to Evil Dead Rise, unfortunately, I truly recommend you go see this with a group of people, rather that be your friends, your family, a date, or even going by yourself, but in a semi crowded theater. Being able to enjoy the gut punching, stomach churning, and nonsensical ride with your best mates makes Evil Dead Rise more than just a better than average run of the mill body horror flick, but an experience itself that I'm sure will be able to hold the conversation long into the night after watching. If you haven't seen Evil Dead Rise, I truly recommend that you go give it a watch either in theaters or just wait until it comes out and watch it with people then. 2023 has been a really good year for horror with Scream 6, Megan, and now Evil Dead Rise, and I'm sure we'll just have more coming into spooky season later on in the year. We'll see how the horror genre goes, and hopefully it can stay at this incredible pace that it's been on in, say, the past decade or so. We can only pray. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. It's crazy that this is actually my first horror movie review on the channel, but I guess I never really considered how little horror movies I actually watch. So make sure to not only leave some comments of how you felt about Evil Dead Rise, seeing how it's already been out for quite some time, but definitely some horror movie recommendations as well. I know that's a whole different world that I've never truly explored, so definitely make sure you leave some of those in the comments. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But otherwise, that's all the words I got for you today. Bye.